Hello and welcome. My name is Brian Caplen. I'm editor of The Banker magazine. I'm here with Melissa Hancock, who's our Middle East editor, and we're discussing the Banker's first ever Islamic Banking Awards. So Melissa, obviously Islamic banking is a very high growth sector, attracting a lot of interest. Why was it we decided now was the right time to introduce some awards for this sector?
Okay, so since 2006, the Banker has been publishing an annual survey of global Sharia-compliant institutions, which we call the top Islamic Financial Institutions ranking. Yeah. It features in the November issue of the magazine, and it's really grown in size since we launched it. And
right, so we've built up this big database on Islamic banks.
Exactly. We've got a really unique insight into how banks and markets are performing in this field across the world. And also what struck us is that since 2006, the Islamic finance assets of these banks have grown by a compound annual growth rate of 19%.
Yeah, which is enormous compared to what's going on in most other markets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you think of the conventional banking industry and the divestment of assets and shrinking balance sheets and the huge losses they posted. I mean, this is a really stark contrast.
Right. And is there a lot of innovation going on in Islamic banking as well?
Huge innovation. There were two really apparent themes that emerged out of this awards program. One was growth and one was innovation. And the second was innovation. It was we've had Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank launch the world's first hybrid perpetual tier 1 sukuk. Yeah. Which was a landmark sukuk issuance. And also it was massively oversubscribed, so you can see there's a huge demand for it. It was launched at 500 million and it attracted an order book of 15 billion.
All right, so we've got great innovation, and at the Banker we're fortunate in having this fantastic database. How did we actually conduct the awards process?
Okay, so it's not just a straightforward numbers game. We look obviously for an improvement in assets, profits, deposits growth, and loans growth, but we're also looking for examples of strategies of how they've gained proven market advantage over their competitors. Yeah. And how they've innovated, especially, and also how they've expanded within their own market, but also regionally and internationally. So there's quite a sort of wide range.
And sometimes with our awards processes we use external judges. Did we manage to find some people to do that for us in Islamic banking?
Yes, we had 3 very well-respected Islamic finance practitioners on our judging committee.
Right. So I mean, obviously the advantage of having those kinds of people doing this work for us is that no one can accuse us of being biased one way or another to any of the banks involved. Is that right?
Exactly. I mean, we obviously we can draw on our own database, which is fantastic, and it's shown us the huge growth that's taken place. But we want to also we wanted to draw on people that had an understanding of how how these products were commercially applied within the markets and proof that they were successful, that people that had experienced that firsthand. So we've got Humayun Dar, who sits on the board of several Malaysian institutions, Islamic institutions. Also Haris Irfan, who helped set up the Islamic finance team at Barclays, has now gone on to set up his own Islamic finance advisory team, which has an office in Dubai. And Hussein Hassan, who heads up global Islamic finance for JP Morgan. So,
all right, so
people with really unique
team.
Insights. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now tell us what the thing we all want to know, which is which bank has come out top in terms of being the global winner here.
Okay. So CIMB Islamic, which is obviously a household name within the Islamic finance industry, but it really did continue to push the envelope on innovation and growth during 2012. It grew its assets and profits by 20%, which obviously is amazing in this climate. It expanded within Singapore, within Indonesia, within Thailand.
Because it's based in Malaysia, isn't it?
It's headquartered in Malaysia, exactly, but it's been expanding quite rapidly across Asia, and it's launched an auto finance business in Indonesia. It's launched trade financing products in Singapore, and it's also presided over the landmark sukuk deals of 2012.
Right. So I mean, one of the interesting things about CIMB Islamic seems to be that it's very much a universal banking in the Islamic space. So it does things across the whole sort of retail, commercial, and investment banking businesses.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got it's been growing its retail deposits and current and saving account deposits very heavily. But then on the investment banking sphere, it launched the world's largest sukuk in 2012, 9.8 billion sukuk. It presided over the world's largest renminbi sukuk issuance, and it also has been pushing the listing of Islamic IPOs, which is quite a new entrant to the field, but it's been one of the key
So a lot of impressive stuff there. Now, clearly the other region that's important in Islamic banking is the Middle East. And we had a special award for the Middle East. So who came tops in that?
So Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, which is a very well-respected bank as well. But what it did in 2012 was very remarkable. It launched the world's first hybrid perpetual Tier 1 sukuk, which was massively oversubscribed. It was actually 30 times oversubscribed. So it was launched at 500 million and it attracted an order book of 15 billion. And it's got some quite unique features about it. It doesn't have a set maturity date. Rather, it can Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank can choose to repay at select dates. And also, it was the first instrument to be publicly issued to raise Tier 1 capital, according to the new Basel III guidelines.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty important these days, being Basel III
yeah,
compliant.
And already there's been, everybody said it was going to pave the way for the issuance of, this new instrument, and it has. Dubai Islamic Bank followed in its footsteps in March this year and attracted an order book of 14 billion for its perpetual sukuk. So it's already making waves.
Thank you, Melissa. Well, we've been hearing about the bankers' first Islamic Banking Awards, and the results of that will be in the June issue. And then later on in the year, in November, we'll be running a ranking of the top Islamic financial institutions. So look forward to that.